So we got Drake and 21 Savage officially released their new collaboration album, Her Loss. Let's just get straight into it because I've been waiting for this all day. I'm gonna pass it off to one of y'all first before I get into it. What are y'all's initial thoughts on the project?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
Drake should, from the initial start, bro. My first thought is that Drake should have gave 21 more of an opportunity to put his input on the project, and that's starting from the album cover to the beat selection, bro. More metro, more trap beats, bro.
But take that shit. I can see it from here, man. Take that.
I wanted to say this.
Oh God.
And bro, yeah, just like I was saying, bro, just he should have had more input. And I know we're gonna be comparing it to What a Time to Be Alive, so I'll wait for that. And I'll give my initial thoughts. All right, I've given my initial thoughts. Before I rate it or anything else, let me hear y'all's initial thoughts.
I just wanted, before I get it, I'll let you go next. But before, I wanted to piggyback off of what you said and saying that 21 should have gotten more opportunities on the album. So the official lyrical splits of the album, which is basically the percentage of who said the most words on the tracks, the splits were 66% Drake, 26% 21 Savage, and then 8% was guests, Travis Scott and those, the random guys talking. So it's clear as day that it was pretty much a Drake album with a feature of 21, But with all that being said, I just wanted to say that. Now let's get into your thoughts, G.
I mean, soon as they dropped the album cover, I already had a bad feeling. I already had a mix. No, what's going on? And Drake is he's the artist I listen to the most. I think for the past 5 years, he's in my Spotify. He's been my most listened to. I'm a Drake stan. Mm-hmm. And going into this and listening to the entire project, he let this out. He let this down. Because 21, he did what 21, and 21's easily one of my top 5 favorite artists.
Yeah, 21 did his thing.
He did so good on this album. I mean, I think he was the better part of this album.
He could have carried the album.
Drake let this album down. Not like completely dropped it, but he definitely wasn't on the same level as 21. 21's lyricism and all that. It's just what we come to expect, and Drake wasn't it.
Drake had some cool disses and some good bars in there, but he had some whack ones. I can't think of the one on top. Really I could probably think of one if I really thought about it, but off the top of my head, bro, I can't really name extremely bad bars that he had, but I know they were in there. Bro. Yeah, he said some crazy, just not even absolutely crazy, just. Why would you say that type thing? It don't make no sense for you to put that in the song.
But still, with Drake not living up to my expectations, I think it was a good project. They had great songs like Rich Flex, Back Outside Boys, Treacherous Twins, and Pussy in Millions. It's a good one.
I was gonna name my top 3 songs. So I got Broke Boys, More M's, and Back Outside Boys.
More M's is really good.
And one of the reasons why I mentioned Back Outside Boys is because that Dram diss, bro, it was hard. It was a good diss. Now, do I think part of what Dram is saying is true? Drake stole the beat and made Hotline Bling. And I would feel a little upset if I was Dram, bro. I'd be like,
agree with that.
Exactly, bro. If I was Dram, bro, and he basically just used my song to get a #1 hit, bro, I'd be hella pissed if he didn't give me any type of credit, bro, because we don't remember Drake giving Dram any type of credit, bro. I don't remember that. I'm sure y'all don't remember that. Exactly, because it would have helped Dram's name even elevate to where it is now, which is kind of irrelevant, bro.
I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Before today, I never knew there was a human being named Dram.
Exactly, bro. So if Drake, and I'm sure, exactly.
They say broccoli, it's a vegetable. Dude.
And I'm sure if Drake would have mentioned him, you would have been like, all right, possibly, bro. Because Drake mentioned some people and their name, just buzz. Whether he gets on a feature with them, mention them even in a damn Twitter. If you get mentioned by Drake, bro, that's one of the that's one of the reasons why I think this album is gonna sell very, very high, even though it's not we don't think it's the best performance from Drake. It's because he dissed, bro. He dissed so many people in this album, bro, that people are gonna be Googling those names, bro, and it's
It's gonna make people go listen to those songs even if they don't like Drake or anything like
exactly. So it's just gonna get the numbers up.
I think compared to obviously, honestly, never mind. I think the numbers are gonna be better, but like by a lot, I don't know.
Yeah,
I really don't know. But I'm gonna hold out on my number rating
it's
until
sad, bro, because like
finishes.
we're not. My bad. We're not. Bro, we're not gonna say like Drake's falling off, bro. But honestly, never mind. And this, like,
not looking good. Not
Come
looking
on, bro.
great.
It's not looking good.
Not looking
It's
great.
not looking good.
Not looking great.
I'm just at a loss for words. I mean, I knew y'all we listened to it together, bro. So I knew y'all didn't really like it like that. But I didn't know y'all were gonna come on here and say this crazy shit that y'all are saying right now, bro.
It's not looking good.
It's not even anything bad. I mean,
Bro, you saying that Drake basically let the album down and stuff like that. I think that
compared to 21.
I don't know. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like Drake didn't have his best performance, recently, especially compared to Honestly Nevermind. I think that we saw the Drake that we kind of wanted to see to a certain extent. We wanted to see more rapping Drake, and that's kind of what we got. I will say my initial thoughts on the project overall, I thought it was pretty damn good. Like, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, when we did our preview, I expected an 8. I think it met my expectations for the most part. I think the performance was there. I think the only thing I would have liked to have seen, and I alluded to that when I mentioned that 21 Savage only had 26% of the lyrics on the album. I would have liked to have seen more 21 because to me, it felt like it was basically a Drake project and it just had a bunch of 21 features.
Yeah.
And that's not exactly what the formula for me for when you think about a
duo
collab
album.
You would expect more closer to 50-50 than what we got. However, I don't know. I disagree with y'all. I think it was pretty good from Drake. I think Drake did his thing on a lot of these songs. Maybe not every song because there was a couple songs where I'm like, okay, bro.
What was the last one? The last one was
And then there's hours.
I guess it's fuck me.
I guess it's.
And there was hours in
silence.
silence.
Hours in silence.
Hours in
silence.
Oh my God.
I agree.
Whoa.
And I wrote it down. Hours in Silence was ass.
Was the
I'll
worst
admit, it was the
thing
worst song.
I've ever listened to.
It
Bro,
was
for
bad.
like 2 straight minutes
It
towards
was
the
bad.
end, or 3
I-
straight minutes, he was just
It was bad.
just
And I
talking
think
with a low voice and barely not really saying anything
all
practically
he had
important.
all he had to do was cut that song and cut Honestly Fuck Me or whatever the fuck was it.
Honest, I guess it's fuck me.
I guess honestly fuck me for having to listen to it. But if you cut those 2 once, you make it a shorter track, you jump up tremendously.
I can't agree.
Because
yeah.
we're gonna talk about the one he made with Future.
Yeah.
The fact that one was a shorter track. That's what was it, 11 songs.
11 songs.
11 songs.
It's a 16.
Yeah, the 11 compared to 16. Like the fact that there's that one had less music and they were like more compact of really really good tracks. There was like
they literally did no
picked
filler.
the no filler, and this one has filler. That's always gonna be the problem with albums that have like 16 to 17 to 18
And that's
songs.
exactly what I said in the preview. I literally
remember.
I said, bro, I need a short, concise track list, and that's one of my.
Because that's one of the things we could definitely agree on
12 to 14 songs would have been perfect for this project because
for most projects.
They did a lot of good songs for this, bro. Like I'm like my personal top, and I love Back Outside Boys, Circo Loco, Broke Boys. But then
I forgot about Broke Boys.
but obviously there was
Broke
still
Boys is a good one.
Pussy in Millions, like you
Pussy in
alluded
Millions.
to. Middle of the Ocean, we got that kind of long rap, Drake vibe that we kind of got.
All right.
Jumbo Shit Poppin' was a good song. More M's that you alluded to.
Pretty good.
Rich Flex, Major Distribution.
Flex.
There was a lot of good songs on here, but then there was bad ones like Hours in Silence, and I guess it's Fuck Me that kind of
Bro, it's
takes it down a notch.
because it made the album overall just so bad adding that song to your track list.
It made
It
it
doesn't-
too
for-
much fodder.
For me, it doesn't make the album bad just because they have those 2
Yeah.
bad songs. But I will agree, like it can't be like 100% a perfect classic album
no.
when you got 2 songs on there that I'm saying are ass.
So wait, so you saying it's an 8?
8.
I'm saying it's an 8.
I got a 7.
I got a 7, but the only reason why I got a 7, I would say a 6. The only reason why I got a 7 is because it's Drake and 21, and like it's catchy.
Your reps got to get you at least 1 point.
Exactly, and it's catchy, bro. Like
I will say-
it has a little catch to it.
It's
But
good.
It's
Yeah.
one of those things like we didn't just listen to it once. We've kind of been listening to it
All
yesterday,
day.
all day, kind of like really soaking it in. And for me, it's kind of it's crazy to say because it's only been the second day that it's kind of been out, but it's already kind of getting better to me in a second listen and stuff like that. Like there are some tracks that I kind of slept on at first, and now I listen to it again. I'm like, oh, that song is just really
like
good.
Like Rich Flex at first, I kind of didn't like it first listen.
Yeah, you did.
Same.
Like, as soon as they switched up the beat.
That beat switch.
The beat, I was like, what the?
Yeah.
Like what am I listening to? But then after a while, you're like, okay, just sit through it for a little bit. Then it becomes a little bit more fire. But then
100%.
Should you have to sit through it though in order to be fire?
It's because and it's one of the things. Obviously, when it's Drake,
I think that's how he raps.
He's held up to the highest of the high expectations. That like when he does something kind of questionable, like
that's another reason why I'm only rating it a 7.
Yeah, because like when we're talking about like purely artists, like we're talking about like, people at the top of the game. You think of like Taylor Swift, Bad Bunny, and Drake. You think like all these guys within like these guys and girls, but like you expect the best from them. When they drop something, you expect purely the best.
Yeah, 100%.
And Drake dropping 6 to 10s. Like honestly, never mind. That was like a 5.
Yeah.
And like you just expect better, and we expect better.
One thing I wanted to say, for me personally, I don't know about y'all, and I'll get y'all's opinions on it. I think the Travis Scott verse on this exceeded my expectations. I think Travis really did his thing on this project, and the one verse that he did get, I think he did his thing. It was a fire verse. What did y'all think about it?
That was really good. One of the best songs.
It was a good verse. I'm not gonna say it's one of Travis' best verses,
but it was a good verse considering some people have been saying Travis Scott is on the fall off.
Yeah, after Astroworld.
I feel like is he announcing his return necessarily? I don't know, but to get this, the only feature, a lot of people are clicking on that song first, and for me, he definitely.
And Travis
delivered.
isn't the type of person to drop consecutively, so it's gonna be a little while until he drops.
But like he hasn't even done that many features to be honest, so it's just one of them things.
Yeah,
I didn't know what to expect.
Because he did have to take a break after the whole Astroworld scandal thing, but he started to come back a little bit.
Yeah, and I just didn't know what to expect from that being the only feature, and he exceeded my expectations. He did his thing, and that's a great song. And that's what I wanted to ask y'all next. We just talked about Travis Scott and how he did pretty well as the feature. But do y'all think now, looking back on the track list, do y'all think there should have been another feature or more?
Bro, 100% there should have been another damn feature, bro. You have to have a Future feature on that, bro.
Future could have saved one of those bad songs.
Bro, oh my God, bro. Because Future could have hopped on right at the end of one of those songs that had the long ending.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Like the crappy ending.
I already forgot. Like,
Hours of Silence.
Hours of Silence.
Bro, if Future would have hopped on that,
save it.
Banger, bro. He could have saved it, bro. Damn, bro, he really could have saved the shit.
Like, when we did our preview, you said, and I kind of agree with you, that Future might be the only feature. I wasn't necessarily at all expecting a Travis feature.
No.
And it was fire, but I agree. I do think, like, if you're going to drop 16 tracks, and although it is a collab album, it wasn't as much of a collab album as we really thought because it's kind of mostly Drake.
It's a Drake album.
We needed one, potentially 2 more features out, and like looking back on it, I would have. And I loved the album. I loved that. It was a pretty good album. I don't know about Love yet, but for the most part, looking back on it now, I think obviously Travis could have stayed as a feature, and then realistically, I think we could have seen 2 more features, Future and Lil Baby.
Yeah.
Lil
Baby could have saved some.
And although we've talked about, we've criticized Lil Baby on the pod, saying
but he's a great feature.
But he's a great feature artist. He's a great.
Bro, even damn Uzi, bro, and he doesn't really add up into the mix with them, but like Uzi, bro, would have been a good feature.
I haven't seen a Uzi feature in a while.
Uzi would have had a good feature on that.
He hasn't had a lot of big name features recently. He's been doing with smaller artists, but like he has a song with Drake in the vault that we've been waiting for it to drop, and we thought it might drop on this album, but it didn't. And I don't know exactly what his plans are with that song. But it needed 1 to 2 more features, whether it is an Uzi, whether it is a Future, whether it is a Lil Baby. There was options, and I wanted to give him his flowers, like Lil Yachty. He did some ad-libs on a song. I'm not saying we needed a Lil Yachty feature, but like potentially he had 4 production credits on the album, and he also did the ad-libs. We just needed something else, in my opinion.
Yachty, man, you should do in a verse.
Yeah, I don't know if the verse would have been fire or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, we needed to hear another voice on that project. It needed something else.
And when comparing it to What a Time to Be Alive, man, I initially, bro, I thought this project was gonna match up. I didn't think it was gonna be better than What a Time to Be Alive, obviously, because that's one of the best albums probably in
History.
Hidden history, bro. You got to put that up there.
Because like it has less songs, but yet more bangers.
More bangers.
More
So
bangers.
so
big rings, diamonds dancing, Jumpman, scholarships, and 30 for 30 freestyles.
so when you're thinking of Drake doing his second collab album and it's with 21, and he's mentioned 21 before, they have a pretty good, decent relationship.
Yeah, like,
Obviously
leading up,
not
they've had a lot of songs together.
exactly. Obviously not as good as Future and Drake's relationship, but they got a good relationship.
good.
So and 21 is fire. Like we said, he was fire on this album. So I was expecting like woof. But when comparing it to What a Time to Be Alive, bro, that shit
Not
is
even close.
ass.
For me, What a Time to Be Alive is a 10. I said it. It is a perfect classic album. It literally, when I think about a perfect album, I kind of think of
I think it's a 9.
a short,
I'll give it a 9. Like it's so
short-
close.
a short, concise track list. It got it. Pretty much no filler. Obviously, it's got it. And it didn't need features because Drake and Future were just doing their thing on every single track. That's prime Future, prime Drake. It didn't need no features. It was just, it's incredible. And, looking like when I was expecting, what was I expecting with this album? I didn't think it was going to compare to What a Time to Be Alive because that was just so classic. And I'm glad that I didn't go into it with those expectations because it just didn't quite live up to that. And I think being Drake's second ever collab project, some people might have expected it to be up to that quality. And although I think this was really good, you just can't compare it to What a Time to Be Alive.
Speaking of What a Time to Be Alive, what is your favorite song off that album? I like 30 for 30 freestyle.
For me, my top songs off What a Time to Be Alive, 30 for 30 freestyle as well,
Oof.
Scholarships, and then Digital Dash.
Oh, Digital
I
Dash.
forgot about that.
And that's an intro, bro.
Yeah,
that's
it's intro.
bro, you starting off the project
Oh
with
my
Digital
god.
Dash, bro.
Bang.
And I'm not saying Rich Flex is bad because I think that's a really good song, but
It's decent.
think about starting off with Digital Dash,
Yeah,
and you starting off with.
I think with anything,
It's a downgrade.
Yeah, you always have to. I don't get what happens when you make these albums. You always have to put your best song first, and then your second best song last. You have to open up and start and finish off strong.
Yeah.
So before we leave off of this topic, I did want to mention maybe he's not on the complete downfall, but y'all think Drake is just out of his rhythm,
I don't think so, bro.
I don't know. I don't know if he has that same love for the game.
or maybe even how they say Migos were prime in culture. Do you think? Because Drake has always been in his prime. Do
Yeah.
you think he's just starting to? We're starting to lose Drake's prime.
I would say for me personally, I don't think we're gonna see an album like Drake's best albums that he's ever put out have already came out.
Yeah.
Like Take Care, Nothing Was the Same, Views. His best ever projects, when we look back at Drake's career when it's all said and done, there's no project that he's gonna drop from here on in 2022 and forward that is gonna top those projects. His best projects are behind him. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not, and that's not to say that he's
Damn.
making bad music now.
Of course.
But his best projects are behind him, and I think everyone can agree on that.
I don't think he has the want to make a better album than Take Care. I don't think he sits there and okay, I have to make an album that that fucking blows that one out the water.
Now, what's crazy is that we can all agree that he's probably top 3. Even some will say he's number 1 with an art and musical artist,
Yeah.
and he's not even in his damn prime, bro.
He's past his prime,
That's just showing.
his prime was so high, and he's just a little bit below. You know what I'm saying?
That's just showing how great of a talent Drake is, and how much of die-hard fans he got, bro. The die-hard fans.
Is he still making bangers? You know?
He makes good pretty good music, but when it comes down to the wants and because it ultimately comes down to Drake has nothing left to prove.
He doesn't. I mean, he won Artist of the Decade.
Yeah, literally, what else can he do? Win Artist of the Decade again?
So you're saying when you have nothing to prove, you lose the drive.
You lose the drive
You
because
lose the drive.
when he was
100%.
dropping Take Care and stuff, he was on a mission to show people that he's the best there is and ever was.
And at that time with Take Care, specifically when that was dropping, he's trying to prove himself on Young Money.
Yeah.
That's a Lil Wayne's
If you're reading
label.
this is too late. Oh my god.
He's sitting there fighting with Nicki Minaj, and he's competing with Lil Wayne, who at the time was the number 1 rapper in the game. You're thinking okay, this is my expectations. I have to really live up to that hype because Lil Wayne is my main cosign.
He wasn't at the top of the hill, but now he's at the top of the hill.
And he's been at the top of the hill for so long, and realistically, in terms of the numbers, he's still at the top of the hill.
It would take a different type of completely different type of mentality to still be in that mindset of that there's still more I can do and that he can go after. But I just don't think he's there. He kind of drops stuff now that's passable. That's okay. I feel like if he had this entire same album and maybe honestly never mind around the time of Take Care, he wouldn't drop it because he kind of knows that this isn't going to take me to that next level. But the fact that he's at that level, he's okay with letting stuff like this go. He's
Yeah, I don't think he's dropping
it's passable.
Hours of Silence.
Yeah, I don't think Hours of Silence is making the cut for Take Care. That's not happening.
Hell nah.
But it's just the reality of how everything works. Usually when someone's on the top of their game, they don't really strive for more unless you're Taylor Swift or some shit.
And I would say it's one of those things that's why we see the most classic type of Drake come out when he's with guys that motivate him, like Lil Baby, for example.
Yeah.
We see that when he probably sees Lil Baby going crazy in the studio, recording his verse for Wants and Needs, for example.
And potentially on the rise.
And then he's like, oh, damn, Lil Baby's going crazy. I got to kind of step up my game back to what I was doing back in the day. He knows that. He's got to be self-aware to a certain extent. I don't know if there was any other point. I had one more point that I wanted to ask y'all about the album.
Yeah.
You can go ahead and ask.
We said it in our preview that we wanted to see, I personally wanted to see, I think you agreed with me, we wanted to see a heavy dose of Metro Boomin production on this project. Ultimately, we didn't get it. We
needed it.
Metro Boomin has one production credit on this album, More M's.
Which one of the best songs on the tape?
So what are our thoughts on Metro Boomin not getting the production credits we thought? And then also, what was our thoughts on the production on this project? Could it have been better?
Bro, you need D-Mac 2 bagging, bro. You need them trap making beats, bro. That's what you needed because that's 21's. That's his
game.
That's his game. And it's not like Drake can't hop in that game either, like he did with Jimmy Crooks.
Yeah.
So it's not like Drake can't just hop in that game as well. So they should have just gave 21 more input on the project because we all know that he would have got some trap beats.
Yeah.
He would have got some trap beats.
Like the one song that he probably did pick, More M's, Metro Boomin.
And it's a freaking banger.
Bro, it's hard to when you hear that Metro Boomin intro is you're not gonna act this is not gonna be a good song right now. It's just shit. As soon as you hear that, you're like, oh shit, this is over. It's gonna be a good song.
Facts.
For me personally, I literally said on my preview that I wanted pretty much the whole track list produced by him.
Just big old Metro Boomin.
And we only got one song out of 16, so I have to say that is a huge disappointment. And I don't know why Drake ain't working with him more. I just genuinely don't know because I said it before. We saw it on What a Time to Be Alive. That's pretty much I think executively produced by Metro Boomin. I think that's almost 11 songs, and if it isn't all 11, it's pretty much almost all of them.
Yeah.
Produced by Metro Boomin, and we saw just how good it was.
Oof.
So it's just one of those things. I don't know why Drake doesn't have that desire to work with Metro anymore. Or he works with them, but not quite as much as he should. And then ultimately, I'm not gonna sit up here and the production overall, it was good, but it could have been better. I think we could have seen more Metro. We could have seen more 808 Mafia. Those types of guys. We could have seen. It was good production. OVO 40 did his thing. Like always, he's a great producer. But we could have had a couple more guys sprinkled in there than what we got. Because I don't know why Lil Yachty is getting 4 and that's no disrespect to Lil Yachty. He did some good things. But why is Lil Yachty getting 4 production credits and Metro Boomin's only getting 1? That's a problem for me.
I'm not so good.
But I don't think Lil Yachty was really involved.
He produced it.
Of course, but bro, I think 40, bro, he's the man, bro. He's Drake, bro. He's the boss, bro. When they all going in that producer room, bro. Bro, 40 sitting down, he's saying, bro, I got this, bro.
Yeah.
Y'all add y'all little things, bro, and tell me y'all touches, bro, but I got this.
40 is pretty much doing production on every single Drake song.
Bro, because it is, exactly, bro.
But that doesn't mean that we can't have 40 and Metro co-producing it.
Exactly.
Just think about it, bro. We know how good 40 is. We know how good Metro is. Let's let them cook up beats together.
It's hard.
And we didn't get that enough. And we to be honest, we didn't get that at all because the one beat Metro did produce didn't have 40 on it.
It's hard because we don't know their perspective, though, bro. Maybe 40 and Metro, bro, they're thinking, hey, bro,
they've done collaboration in the past. That doesn't make sense.
You're right. But they're just different. 40's making beats for Drake. And Metro's making beats for 21, and like we said, it's just a different type.
But Metro can make
make soft beats, of course.
But it's not even. I don't want Metro to make a soft beat. Drake can rap on a normal.
Exactly,
Metro
trap beat. Yeah.
The one beat that Metro did have more M's. Drake did his thing on that song too.
Exactly.
21 was probably better on that song, but Drake did his thing on that too. And it's not like I'm saying like I can't listen to more M's because Drake did bad. Drake did good. So,
but you see where they have to pick a side in the production. They're leaning towards Metro in it with that song.
Yeah, it's just one of them things, you know.
And they should have gave Metro more of an opportunity to do that.
We're just not getting the 2015 Drake that was hard rapping like he was on What a Time to Be Alive, and ultimately, that's why it's not as good of an album.